Recording in progress.
Yesterday, about this keyword you studied, about this keyword. What is this? It is called as object reference or reference variable. Why we are calling object reference or reference variable? Because it refers object. Which object? Current object. It refers current object. Always refers current object. Okay. Will it come implicitly in the instance method? Initialization block, constructor, static initialization block, class method? No. When we have to write explicitly this keyword, whenever local variable and instance variable names are same, then we have to write explicitly this keyword. Will it static method refer this keyword? No, static method does not refer this keyword in any way. Implicitly not possible, explicitly not possible. This is all you studied. See, yesterday about this keyword only five examples you studied. 5 example. One more example related to constructor, that is further we will see. Now next concept, constructor only. While learning constructor only, one more this keyword, this example also we will see. Next write it. Constructors. Next heading, constructors. Next heading, constructors. Note down. A constructor is a special method. A constructor is a special method which has same name as the class name. A constructor is a special method which has same name as the class name. A constructor is a special method which has same name as the class name and which has no return type. A constructor is a special method which has same name as the class name and which has no return type. See, method name, class name, if it is same and return type if it is not there, that is called constructor. Method name, class name, same and no return type, that is called constructor. Even you should not write void also. Void also return type only. Without return value, at the time we'll write return type void. But void is also considered as a type. That's what without return type. See, what is constructor? It is a special method. What is a speciality? Same name as the class name and no return type. That is a speciality. So method name, class name, same and return type if it is not there, that is called constructor. Okay. I'll give points later. I'll explain with coding. First write the points. Constructor is called automatically when an object is created. Constructor is called automatically when an object is created. Constructor is called automatically whenever an object is created. Constructor is called automatically when an object is created. Say constructors are used to initialize instance variables. Constructors are used to initialize instance variables. Constructors are used to initialize instance variables. If you want to initialize instance variables, we require constructors. But without constructor also already we initialized. But why do we need a constructor? Without constructor, with constructor, what is the difference? I'll explain. Next. There are two types of constructors. First one, default constructor without arguments. Second one, parameterized constructor with arguments. There are two types of constructors. First one, default constructor without arguments. Second one, parameterized constructor with arguments. There are two types of constructors. First one, default constructor without arguments. Second one, parameterized constructor in the brackets with arguments. You observe whatever I given. There are two types of constructors. First one, default constructor. Second one, parameter constructor. Default constructor means without arguments. Parameter constructor means with arguments. Okay. There are two types of constructors. See, first what I given just you see. What is constructor? It is a special method which has same name as the class name and which are no return type. Method name, class name, if it is same and return type is not there, that is constructor. What is up when constructor is called? When an object is created. Whenever object is created is called. What is the purpose of constructor? To initialize instance variables. But already we initialized instance variable without constructor only. This is what's the difference I'll show you. How many types of constructor? Two types. What are those? Default constructor, parameter constructor. Default constructor means without argument. Parameter constructor with arguments. Okay. You studied how many categories of methods are there? Four categories. What is the first one? Methods with arguments and with return value. Second one, with argument without return value. Third one, without argument with return value. Fourth one, without argument without return value. Four categories, but here only two. Reason, no return type. Return type not there, no. That's what. Without argument, with argument. Without argument is called default constructor. With argument is called parameter constructor. Only two types. Okay. Now, first identification of constructor I'll explain. One minute. See, first one, class name, here demo. Like this written. Now, class name demo, method name demo. There is no return type. It is called constructor. It is called constructor. Okay. Suppose second one, class name demo, method name also demo. Is it constructor? No. Capital letter, small letter also you have to check. It is not a constructor. It is normal method. Normal method. But method can be write without return type. Can we write? So it's an error. It is valid, but it is constructor. It is method. Class name, method name must be same. Return type should not be there. That is called constructor. But here class name demo, method name demo, return type not there. It is constructor. But here also class name, method name, same return type not there. But it is not a constructor. Reason, capital letter, small letter also you have to check. Capital letter, small letter, spelling, everything checked. Okay. This is a method. Method without return type, is it possible? No. That is considered as method without return type, error. Write these two. Write these two. Class name, method name, same and no return type. That is called constructor. But capital letter, small letter also you have to check. Capital letter, small letters also you have to check. But like that, if you write, it is constructor. Like this, if you write, method. But method without return type, not valid. That's what error. That's what error comes. Is it completed? So capital letter, small letter also you have to check, because Java is a case sensitive. Java is a case sensitive. You have to check. Suppose here small letter, if I write constructor, you can call, but you should not write. It is not recommended, because class name, each word first letter capital you study, no? That is you have to follow. Okay. Now it is first one, it is second one. Now I'll give some more. Is it over? Now third one, class demo, here void demo. If I write, is it constructor? Is it method? Is it valid or not valid? Valid. It is valid method. It is method. It is valid. Okay. Suppose fourth one you observe. This is a little bit confusion. Class name demo. Here return type void. Like this are written. Now, is it constructor or method? What is this? Method. Is it valid or invalid? Valid or invalid? Valid. Say, here what will be happen is, few people, what they'll think is class name, method name, same is there. Capital letter, small letters also same is there. It is a constructor. It should not contain return type. That's what it is not valid. They'll think. Some more people, what they'll think, it is method notation not followed. That's what it is valid only. They'll think. But here, different way of thinking will be there. So you observe class name demo, year class method name demo, capital letter, small letters also same. If everything is same, generally constructor without return type should be there. With return type is there. That means not valid. Like that they'll think. Some more people they'll think it is method only, but notation not followed. Like that they'll think. Notation for method, second word onwards, first letter capital. But here first letter only capital. Notation not followed. Like that they'll think. But I already told you what Java compiler understand, what JVM understand, that is you have to learn subject. So JVM and Java compiler will understand it's like a normal method, but it is considered, it is valid, but it is method, not a constructor. Right, this one. Is it over? So if you write like this, it will be considered as a method, but valid. It is not recommended to write because method notation, second word onwards, first letter is capital and no space between words. While teaching, listen. Listening is most important. You two members continuously discussing only. From the beginning, I'm observing. You two members only, not listening class. Listening is most important. Already I told many times. Now, is it over? Say, if the class name, method name same is there and return type is not there, that is called constructor. Remaining all methods. Okay. That type it will understand. That's what it is called as method. Okay. Now, I'll show you with examples. Suppose name demo. Is it visible? Last. See. If I write like this, is it constructor or method? It is constructor. Okay. Now, suppose see system.out.println something welcome. Now, this is constructor or method? Constructor. Now, when constructor is called? Whenever object is created. Suppose demo d equal to new demo. I created object. Now, object is right side or left side? Right side. So, new constructor, then object created. New constructor, then object created. So, this is constructor. That's what it is called automatically. Constructor is called automatically whenever an object is created. Reason, this is only. In the object creation syntax itself, there is a constructor. That's what it is called automatically. Okay. See, if I execute this program, what will happen? See, demo class loaded, open brace executed, main method called, open brace executed, object created, then constructor called, then welcome printed. That object referred by D. File, save. See Java C demo.java. Java demo. Welcome printed. Now, if I write like this, constructor is called or not called, think yourself and give me answer. Called or not called? Called, because it is only object creation. So, this is only called object creation. Whenever object is created, constructor is called. Say file, save. Now also it is called. Which is better? This is better or previous one better? This is better. Why it is better? Memory we can save. Object reference memory you can save. Here object reference is not there. Reference memory you can save. Okay. Write example. It is a constructor. It is a constructor. Okay. Is it completed? See, demo class loaded, open brace executed, main method called, object created, then constructor called, welcome printed. Okay. Now, if I write like this, constructor called or not called? Not called, because what is created? Object reference created. When constructor called? Whenever object is created, but object is not created here. Okay. So it is not called. File, save. So it is a proof it is not an object. See, no output. Constructor is not called. It is not an object. Okay. D is not an object. D is a object reference. D is not an object. Now, if I write small d here, if I write small d, first, is it constructor or method? Method. Is it valid or invalid? Invalid. Error comes. See, it is invalid method. See, invalid method declaration return type required. Okay, it is invalid. Suppose if I write like this, is it valid? Valid. This is method or constructor? Is it instance method or class method? How many ways to access? What are those? With object reference, I want to call. How to call? Demo d equal to new demo. Next, d dot demo. Okay. I want response like this up to last class. Okay. Up to last class, I want response like this. If I ask any question, you should give answer. Okay. That type knowledge is required. Now, here it is a method. It is not a constructor. That's what compulsory you have to create object. After creating object with reference, you have to call. File, save. See, now it is valid. It is valid, but it is method. Okay. Suppose if I write here D capital letter, is it constructor or method? Method. Suppose I'm creating object. Is it called? No, it is not called. See, it is a proof. It is not a constructor. It is not. It is a proof. It is not a constructor. If it is constructor, it is called no. It is not a constructor. It is a proof. I want to call this method. How to call? With object, I want to call new demo dot demo. You have to call like this only. File, save, compilation, execution. Okay. Now with object reference, if you want to call demo d equal to new demo. Next d dot demo. Okay. Compilation, execution. Now it is a method. Write this one. Now it is not a constructor. It is a method. It is a method. This method explicitly we have to call after creating object. That's what after creating object I called. Otherwise it is not called. Is it over? Now whether it is constructor or method, you can identify now. No. I'll remove this. But like this method, not recommended to write. Okay, not recommended. Method's second word onwards, first letter is capital and no space between words. That is you have to follow notation. Is it constructor or method? Constructor. Is it valid or not valid? Valid. Is it constructor or method? Method. Is it valid or not valid? Is it constructor or method? Is it valid or not valid? Valid. Is it constructor or method? Method. Is it valid or not valid? Not valid. Okay. Remember, don't forget. Now, how many types of constructors? Two types. What are those? It is default constructor means without argument. Parameter constructor means is it default constructor or parameter constructor? Default constructor. It is default constructor. Okay. Now what I'll do is in the same program, one more constructor I'll write with parameter. It is called parametered constructor. Now one parameter also you can write, 10 parameters also n number of you can write. Okay. You already studied method overloading. You studied no? What is method overloading? If two or more methods with the same name and with a different parameters list, then it is said to be method overloading. How many ways to differentiate methods parameters? Three. What is the first one? Data types different. Next, number of argument different. Next, order of an argument different. Any one difference should be there. That is overloading. Okay. If two or more methods with the same name and with different parameters list, then it is said to be method overloading. Parameters list can be different in number of arguments, data types, or order of an argument. Any one difference should be there. Okay, that is overloading. Now, overriding also is studied. No? What is overriding? Same name and same parameters list. That is overriding. Now, it is overloading or overriding? Overloading. Here, no arguments. Here, one argument. It is constructor overloading. Constructor also can be overloaded. Okay. It is called constructor overloading. You can write. See, it is overloading concept, constructor overloading. Suppose if I write like this, default constructor called or parameter constructor called? Default constructor called. If I write like this, parameter constructor called. Okay. See, demo class loaded, open brace executed, main method called, open brace executed, object created. Then default constructor called. Welcome printed. Then it will come back. Parameter constructor called. 5 printed. Okay. File save. Compilation execution. Welcome 5. Okay. Now, in this program, how many objects I created? 2 objects I created. 2 objects. Okay. This object calls default constructor of current default constructor. This object calls parameter constructor. This concept is called constructor overloading. Write this one. Program to demonstrate constructor overloading. 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 Default constructor, parameter constructor. If you write both at a time, it is called constructor overloading. Default constructor, parameter constructor, constructor overloading. Is it completed? So constructor without arguments, default constructor. Constructor with arguments, parametered constructor. That is one argument or two argument or many arguments. Okay. If you write both, constructor name same, parameter list different, it is called overloading. Okay. It is called overloading. Now in this program, how many objects created? Now with one object only, two constructors also we can call. That purpose this keyword required. I'll show you how to call. Is it completed? See. Suppose I'll remove this. Now, if I execute this program, what will be the output? Only welcome. Okay. Compilation, execution, welcome. Okay. Suppose if I write here 10, what is the output? Only 10. Now, one object, if I create only one constructor called. Okay. Now, with one object only, two constructors I'll call. You observe. Here, demo class loaded, main method called, new demo of 10. Control comes to parametered constructor of demo class. Here, in a first line, this brackets I'll write. You studied yesterday this dot for variables and methods, but this bracket, this brackets for constructor. If you write like this, it calls default constructor of current class. So it is called welcome printed. See, now after printing welcome, 10 also printed. Compilation, execution. Okay. Now in this program, how many objects are there? One object. See, new demo of 10. Control comes here. 10 copied in X. This control comes here. Welcome printed. It will come back. 10 printed. Suppose this bracket semicolon, if I write here, what will be the output? Actually here error. Okay. That is why I'll explain. File, save. Your thinking is right. Okay. But it shows error. See, you observe, if I run this program, error comes. Call to this must be first statement. This error. Okay. So your way of thinking is right. That is no mistake. But here, this brackets semicolon or this argument semicolon must be a first statement in a constructor. Why it should be a first statement in a constructor? That is understanding purpose, inheritance topic required. Okay. Later you will understand. But it should be a first statement. Now that point note down. First write this one. This bracket semicolon. It calls default constructor of current class. It calls default constructor of current class. This argument 1, argument 2, like this n number of arguments. It calls parameterized constructor of current class. It calls parameterized constructor of current class. This brackets semicolon. It calls default constructor of current class. This argument semicolon. It calls parameter constructor of current class. Note. this brackets semicolon or this argument semicolon must be a first statement in a constructor. This bracket semicolon or this argument semicolon must be a first statement in a constructor. Is it over? Say this brackets semicolon, it calls default constructor of current class. This arguments semicolon, it calls parametered constructor of current class. This or this must be a first statement in a constructor. Yesterday whatever you studied different, today whatever you are learning different. Yesterday you studied this dot, today you are learning this arguments, this brackets, these three. Like, see, yesterday you studied this one, today you are learning these two, but this one you can write second line also. That is yesterday program second line only given, you observe. That is the reason second line only given. That is valid. This dot you can write second line, but this bracket semicolon, this argument semicolon, compulsory first line only. Why it should be a first line? For understanding that one, super keyword required, inheritance concept required. Then you will understand. That later you will understand. While teaching inheritance, I'll cover. Okay. See here in this example. Now you observe once again. Once again you observe. See, listen with concentration. Already 2-3 times I'm repeating. You observe one concept 2-3 times I'm repeating. Very slowly I'm teaching. 2-3 times I'm teaching. Okay. Because this topic, if you are perfect, further topic it becomes easy. Otherwise, further every day you will struggle. That will be happen. That's what very slowly, repeatedly I'm teaching. You have to listen with more concentration. Okay. Say demo class loaded, main method called new demo of 10. Then control comes here. From this, you can call like this. If you write like this, it calls default constructor of current class. Then control comes here. Welcome printed. It will come back 10 printed. Like this, output welcome and 10. So output welcome and 10. Suppose this bracket semicolon, if I write here, it is error. This type of code snippets only software company exam they'll ask. Like this, they'll give option A, welcome 10. Option B, 10 welcome. Option C, error. Option D, none of the above, something they'll ask. Most of the students, what they'll write? 10 welcome, they'll write. It's an error. It's an error. See, file save. If I compile, error comes. Call to this must be first statement in constructor. This bracket semicolon you can write as a first statement only. That too in a constructor only you can write. Other places you cannot write. This bracket semicolon or this argument semicolon, that one you can write as a first statement only. That too in a constructors only you can write. Other places you cannot write. Okay. If you write, error comes. But this dot yesterday you studied, no? That is you can write in a constructor also, methods also, first line also, second line also, anywhere. But these brackets are there, no? You cannot write other places. Okay. Now, suppose here I'll write like this, new demo. It comes to default constructor. Here, this 10 I'll write. Now it comes to parameter constructor. Now 10 printed. After that, welcome printed. See, when this line is executed, control comes to which line? Line number 3. It comes here. When this line is executed, control comes to which line? Line number 8. So 10 printed. After printing 10, welcome printed. Compilation, execution. Clear? Now, here what you do is, first you write this one like this. What will be the output? Welcome 10. Example 1, write this one. Output welcome 10. See, when this line is executed, control comes to parametered constructor. When this line is executed, control comes to default constructor. Okay. New demo of 10. 10 copied in X. This control comes to default constructor. Then welcome printed. After that, 10 printed. Okay. So this bracket semicolon, this argument semicolon must be a first statement in a constructor. Other places error. Okay. Now, is it over? Now, like this also write one example. If I write like this, what is the output? 10 and welcome. Write this one example 2. 10 and welcome. So output of this program, 10 welcome. Is it over? I'll ask one question, give me answer. I'll ask one question, give me answer. Is it completed? Suppose here also I'm writing this. What will be happen? Ten welcome. Welcome 10. Infinite. Next. Error comes. Next. Okay, I'm not asking for answer. Just thinking. Way of thinking purpose I'm asking. Way of thinking. Just I'm checking your thinking way. Now 4 answers came. Welcome 10. 10 welcome. Infinite times. And error. 4 answers came. Any other? Infinite times. Infinite times welcome 10 printed. It won't print. Okay. Infinite times, but it won't be repeated. It won't print. Next. It won't print anything. No output. Okay. It will be repeated infinite times, but no output. Okay. Next. Any other? Other than these answers? Just I'm asking only for thinking purpose, not for answer. I given time for only for thinking. Ten welcome, 10 welcome. 2 times. Infinite times. Infinite times. Okay. Say, how many people answered 10 welcome? 10 welcome. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Online students. How many people answer welcome 10? Welcome 10. One person. No one is there. Okay, online. Okay. How many people's answer no output and infinite times rotated? Okay. How many people answer error? Okay. Online students. How many people answer 10 welcome infinite times? But remaining people answer. All answers over. You don't want to give answer or you want some time? You don't want to give answer. Those who didn't give answer, what is your answer? Any other? You don't want to give answer or you want some time? If you want some time, I'll wait. If you don't want to give answer, time wasted. I'm asking for only for thinking purpose, not for right answer. Only thinking purpose I'm asking. Your way of thinking is right or wrong, I'm going to explain. Okay? Say. You observe here. Demo class loaded. Main method called. New demo. Control where it comes. Default constructor. Now this of 10 parameter constructor. This default constructor. This of 10 parameter constructor. This it will rotate here only. No, it will rotate here only. Those who given infinite times and no output, that their thinking is right. Okay. But here what will be happen? Error comes. It is recursive call. But those who given answer infinite times and without printing any output, infinite times rotated, those people thinking is right. Okay. Say file, save. If I compile recursive constructor invocation, so recursively it is called. Like this we should not call, they are saying. That is they are saying, that compiler is saying. So your way of thinking is right, but its answer is error. Answer is error. Okay. So first here what will happen? New demo. It comes here. This of 10 comes here. This comes here. Again this of 10 comes here. It will recursively, it will call here only. Control will move one default to parameter, parameter to repo default, parameter default, like that. But those who given welcome 10, 10 welcome, no, that way of thinking is wrong. Those people thinking is wrong. Because how it will print, you observe. Control will never come to system.out.println. Will it come? Control will never come to system.out.println. So that purpose I asked. Your thinking purpose I asked, that's it. Sometimes concentration questions I'll ask. Sometimes logical questions I'll ask. Sometimes way of execution questions I'll ask. Like that, you have to think each and everything. Okay. Here, new constructor comes to default constructor. Here, this of 10, it comes here. This, it comes here. And this, it comes here. It will rotate there only. Control will never come to system.out.println. No? Then how it will print 10? How it will print welcome? It will never come. Okay. So that your way of thinking wrong, I'm saying. Okay. So thinking purpose I asked. But those who given infinite times no output, that is right answer. Thinking is right. But answer is error. Those who given error also right. But those who given infinite times no output also right way of thinking. But here system shows error. Okay. Write this one. It's an error. It's an error. Okay. Recursive invocation. Invoking nothing but calling. Executing. Calling. So in this topic, every class, every point important only. Those who missed it, take help from friends or lab faculties. Still, if any doubts are there, mail to my mail ID. Okay. But every class, every point important only in this topic. Object-oriented programming topic is most important topic. With this topic, remaining all becomes easy further. That's what in this topic, if you miss one class also, you take help from friends. Still, if any doubts are there, go to lab. Lab faculties, they'll guide you. Okay. Online students also, lab facility is there. Already Zoom meeting ID is shared. And still, if any doubts are there, you can mail to my mail ID also. Okay. I'll give a reply. But I'll give a reply only on Sundays. Only Sundays. Okay. Because morning to evening 5 classes I'm taking here, 10 hours I will be in Amirpet only. Okay. So Sunday I'll give a reply. Is it over? I'll ask some questions, give me answer. You studied this dot. You studied these brackets. You studied these arguments. Okay. Now, I'll ask questions, give me answer. By using this dot, what we can access? Variables and methods. By using this dot, we can access variables and methods. By using these two, what we can access? Constructors. Constructors. This dot, can I write second line? This dot. Yes. This brackets, can I write second line? No. Second line you cannot write. It should be a first line only. That too in a constructor only. Okay. Now, this dot, will it come implicitly in the constructor? Yes. Will it come implicitly in the instance method? Will it come implicitly in the class method? Will it come implicitly in the initialization block? Will it come implicitly in the static initialization block? No. Implicitly comes in the constructor, initialization block, and instance method. When we have tried explicitly this dot, whenever local variable and instance variable names are same, at the time we have tried this dot explicitly. These brackets, these arguments, will it come implicitly? No, that will not come implicitly. Explicitly only you have tried. Okay. These all points, remember, don't forget. Now, whatever you studied, with that knowledge, give answers. Some more questions I'll ask. If I write like this, don't write. I'll give time for writing. Don't write. If I write like this, program, this code snippet, will it compile or not compile? Will it compile or not compile? Compiles. Because already many programs you have seen like this we written. Okay. So it will compile successfully. Right. If I write like this now, will it compile or not compile? Will it compile or not compile? Not compile. Why it will not compile? There is no parameterized constructor. That's what it will not compile. But if I write like this, there is no default constructor also, no? But it will compile. Okay. So default constructor implicitly comes. I have to give a point. That point I didn't give till. I'll give notes. Now, first, if you write like this, actually in this program, default constructor also not there. Not there. But Java compiler will add. Java compiler will provide. That's what it will compile. If you write like this, error comes. Because there is no parametered constructor. But Java compiler will not provide parametered constructor. Error comes. Suppose myself, I'll write like this. Will it compile? Yes or no? Yes. This calls parameter constructor. It is there. It is called. Now think yourself and give me answer. Will it compile? Will it compile? Here one point is there. If the class does not contain any other constructor, then only Java compiler will provide default constructor. In this situation, default constructor will not come. That means error. If I remove this, valid. If I add this, error. It will not provide. When it will provide, if there is no other constructor. So, now once again, if I write like this, will it compile? Will it compile? Yes. If I write like this, no, error. If I write like this, yes. If I write like this, no. In this situation, default constructor will not come. In this situation, it will not come. We outright. If the class does not contain any other constructor, then only Java compiler implicitly provides one default constructor. This type of logics are object-oriented programming logics. But calculating factorial, square root, perfect number, Armstrong number, those are C language logics only. For practicing point of view, I given that type of assignment. Actually, Java means this type. Now, if I remove that line, what will happen? If I add this line, what will happen? If I remove that line, what this is Java. This knowledge is there. Later, any Java library you can access. Once if you know how to access Java library, any Java program you can write. That is Java. Because Java not made for calculating factorial, square root, Armstrong number. Okay. Java made for internet applications, online shopping, online exams, online results, online login form, registration form. These all Java. But that type of programming, if you want to learn, first of all, you should have a knowledge on Java API library. But Java library, if you want to access, you should have a knowledge on object-oriented programming. That is your learning. So with this knowledge, later you will understand library. Once if you understand library, that type of program you can build. That it comes under advanced Java. Advanced Java's internet application starts. But for that one, this is compulsory. Without this, that is not possible. Java especially made for internet applications. Whatever you are seeing in internet, Google, Gmail, Facebook, YouTube, Yahoo, these all. That type programming purpose, Java. That type programs are Java applications. But whatever I given assignment, no, that is only to improve your logical skills and syntax purpose I given. But actual Java, online applications only. Okay. Now, first of all, write this one. First one. This small code snippets, write it. Like this, write it. It is implicitly present. That's what valid. So the default constructor doesn't appear to you. It is implicitly present. Demo brackets parenthesis, that is implicitly comes. That's what this line is valid. So it calls default constructor. Default constructor is there implicitly. That's what valid. It is first code snippet. 4 code snippets you have to write. Is it over? So here demo class loaded, main method called new demo, then control comes to default constructor. But default constructor not there. Java compiler implicitly provides that constructor called. That's what it is valid. That's what it is valid. Okay. Now, second one, this one, is it valid? Not valid. Now also implicitly what is present here? Default constructor only present. Now also implicitly like this only. It is second one, write it. It is not valid. Error. It's an error. Now here I am calling parametered constructor, but any parameter constructor is there? No. Will it Java compiler provides? No. That's what error. That's what error. But Java compiler, which constructor provides? Default constructor. Is this completed? Now, third one, if I write demo integer of x, integer x, is it valid? Now, will it Java compiler any constructor provides? No, it doesn't provide. Now, implicitly also like this only. It is valid. Now, write this third one. Is it over? This third one, it is valid. Now, here which constructor I am calling? Parameter constructor. Here it is there. So it is myself I return valid. Fourth one. Is it valid? Not valid. It calls which constructor? Is there any default constructor? No. Will it Java compiler provides? No. That point I have to give. Just write this one first. It's an error. Note. If the class does not contain any constructor, then only Java compiler implicitly provides one default constructor. If the class does not contain any other constructor, if the class does not contain any constructor, then only Java compiler implicitly provides one default constructor. So yourself, if you write a constructor, Java compiler will not provide. If constructors are not there, it will provide default constructor. See, in this program already constructor is there. That's what Java compiler will not provide. But why error is? It calls default constructor. Default constructor not there. Java compiler will not provide. And even myself, I didn't write. That's what error. See, when Java compiler implicitly provides default constructor, if there is no constructor, then only provides. Always it will not provide. If there is no constructor, then only provides. Okay. These all points, remember, don't forget. What is the purpose of constructor? What is the purpose of constructor? To initialize instance variables, that point not completed. That is tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow will see condition.